today's video, I want to share 5 things, the first 5 things that I would do if you live in the city or the suburbs to make sure that you had your house in order to deal with anything that might give you trouble. I would definitely have, I would not go to bed tonight until I had one of these gravity feed water filters. These things we've been using these for over a decade now, and we're still using the original one. If you don't know what it is, it's basically no electricity, no pumps, hardly no maintenance. Really clever charcoal filters that fit in here. You pour water in the top and it filters at the bottom, and you have a little petcock thing that you can use. Now, these are really good because if your water gets shut off, if you know that's going to happen or a storm's going to be coming, there's a lot of things you can do as a homeowner. You can fill up your tubs. I'd have some tarps or plastic that you could lay in there because the drains are not to be trusted. A lot of those will leak. Lay a piece of plastic in there, fill that up with water, wrap the plastic over just to keep things from falling in it. You've got 50 gallons in your water heater. You've got clean water in the back of your tanks on your toilets that is filtered. So there's you got a lot of deals. You can collect rainwater, but if you get sick, you're going to be in trouble. So you want to filter everything. These Alexa Pure filters are very nice because you can start small. You can get into these for about $200. That's going to give you one charcoal filter right there, and that will get you going. I kind of figure if you're a single guy, one is enough. It's a little bit slower, but if you have multiples and big family and you're going through a lot of water, I would recommend this is a good one because you can build on it. You can add 2, 3, 4. But again, as I said, I am still using, and I have 4 of these. 1 we use and then 3 in storage. These filters can be washed, and we're still using the original ones that we bought 11 years ago. They're amazing. So this is where I would start right here, is a good Alexa Pure charcoal water filter. I am a big fan of having freeze-dried food. Freeze-dried food lasts for 25 years. If you want to buy this, you can go to our site, preparewithwranglerstar.com. We have all this. You can buy it as a kit and save some money, or you can just check off things individually. But I'd start with a month. Get yourself a 4-week supply of this and put it away. It'll last forever. If you don't have a dehydrator, this is just a quick and easy way to do it. A lot of protein packed in here. The taste is good. USA made. You know the ingredients are solid. And this is what I personally buy for my family. I have a year's supply for our whole family, for a family of 4. So start with a month. Start with 4 weeks. You can start building that up and have that put away. It doesn't take up much space. You can put it in the cellar. You can put it up in the attic. Just have it on hand. I'll tell you guys, I know what it's like to be poor. I mean, when my dad was a building contractor when the interest rates went up crazy during the Carter administration. And we basically just destroyed my dad. He had a bunch of houses he couldn't sell. Nobody could buy them. It was just a really tough time. I remember my mom having to stand in line to get government cheese. That's where we were at during that time. It was really hard on our family as well as a lot of others. And that made an impression upon me. So I don't want my wife to be standing in line for any government handouts. And so with a little bit of pro action, for like $1,000, if you can scrape that together, you can basically have all this stuff in a month's supply of food, at least a place to start. After that, you got to have a way of cooking your food. So if you're not storing Coleman gas, white gas, or propane, you can't necessarily start a fire all places, especially if you live in a city. So this little guy is really handy. Because this food, you're gonna need to boil water. That's kind of where you're at. And if you don't have electricity, that's a hard thing to do. So a good option are these little Inferno stoves. These guys, you can basically use biomass. If I can get it out. These are all my long-term storage here, so I don't want to ruin the containers. Yeah, I've got a couple of these guys right here. So what you can basically do with these little bio stoves, and there's lots of manufacturers now, but they take a small, you can put it on a deck, a balcony, but anything you can scrounge up and drop in there, pine cones, little sticks, biomass, basically, whatever is, out bark, whatever. And you can burn that in there and you can cook. It does a really good job. You can cook and you can heat water with that. And a lot of these, have options for fans to speed it up. Some of these you have options where you can charge phones, but that's number one. Number one is water filter, and then a way to the food, and then a way to heat up that water. Not only you can sterilize it too. You know, these type of things, if you don't have a water filter, even if you had this, you'd have the ability to boil your water, right? You know where I'm going with that. So that is a good thing to have right there for cooking. Now electronics, I know I'm super dependent on electronics, phones, I use them for maps, just a bazillion different things. That's how we communicate. That's how we keep in touch with loved ones. And man, there's nothing worse than being in the dark and just not knowing what's going on because you've got a dead battery, or you don't know what, you just don't have, you didn't think to get a solar panel, just some basic thing to charge those electronics. Because I don't know about you guys, but we've had power out up here as long as 8 days. And that's a burden. All your things start to run down and you realize how dependent you are on that. So I would have something like this. It's a big, robust battery pack that you can use daily, just having extra battery, extra energy for plugging in laptops and computers. But this one's got a built-in solar panel. There's a lot of good ones out there now, and this is the one that I'm buying up and putting in storage, because you can essentially sit this out in the sun wherever you're at, and you can get enough to charge that phone and stay in communication. So having something like this, just a basic solar generator of some sort, this being the minimum. The bigger eco flows with the solar panels, if you have the means, that's a great way to go as well. But this is just a basic kit. This is your $1,000 kit, what you're seeing right here, with a month's supply of food that kind of get you going, so at least you've done something. But these are very handy. I use these daily. Mrs. W does, Jack does. They're super, super handy to have. Once you have those things covered, you've got your water problem, filtering problem solved. You've got the ability to heat water, boil water, cook food. You've got the ability to charge small appliances, laptops, computers, phones, that sort of thing, flashlights, then medical. So this is a good basic medical kit. So do what you're gonna do. Some guys like to build their own. I've got a lot of videos on that. USNER Doc, Refuge Medical, a lot of good companies out there. If you don't have time, we've got this one put together here. So this is gonna be a grab and go. It's a nice backpack, so it's easy to carry. Expedition size, so if you're going to go on a trip with family, I always throw these on one of the kids and they can pack it in there. I can deal with and treat anything that you're going to need to deal with, basic first aid stuff. So you got your antibiotics, you got your wound dressings, etc. We all know the kit, we all know the drill. But if you want something that's grab and go, this is a good option as well. Oftentimes I just throw this in the back of the truck and know that I've got whatever I need. Band-aids, that's typically what we need from that kit. So that's basically just a place to start. A lot of folks reached out to me privately and in the comments and say, hey, what about us? These are the things that I would cover. Whether you go through our store or whatever, you do what you do. Just do your research and just make sure you kind of have these bases covered. Charging phones, month's supply of food, a good carbon water filter, medical kit. You got it. I covered it all. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Stay safe out there. Please keep us in your prayers. And we'll see you all on the next video.